Hey there, honey bunnies. Welcome to episode 26 of the Sovereign Storytellers podcast with your host, Michelle Wolf. A woman I adore named Terry Cook branded me the truly unruly coach today. I love that. Your truly unruly coach. Because unruly is definitely what I am, because I just don't care. I spent too many years being quiet. I'm never going back to that. Okay, anyway, what are we talking about today? What you want, you're not ready to receive. What? What? What you're asking for, you're not ready to receive it. If you were, you'd already have it and you wouldn't be asking for it. Right? Let's go with that theory. Let's play with that theory today, because who knows really, right? We're just clunking around out here being our unruly selves, doing the best we can do on any given day. Okay? You know, if we could just live from that space, we're just clunking around out here. We're just doing the best we can. Most people don't start out with the intention of being a jerk or, nobody wakes up and says, hey, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to go screw up everything I touch today. That's what I'm going to do. Who does that? I don't do that. No, you don't do that either. Okay. So, what you want, you're not ready to receive. This is such a tricky thing, because in my head, of course I'm ready to receive fill in the blank. Of course I am. That's why I'm asking for it. Duh. Why would I ask for something that I'm not ready to receive? But even in asking that question, another part of me knows that I'm not ready to receive it. Because I'm not in receiving mode when I'm asking a question like that. Or making a statement like that. Of course I'm ready to receive. We'll go with money because, that's my favorite topic this year. That's what I'm mastering this year, and I will master it. Damn it. I'm gonna get it this year. Do you hear the tension in that? That means I'm still not ready really to receive all that's available to me. I'm still looking at it as something outside of me that I don't have that I should have. I should have it. I don't have it. I'm asking for it. So I am not in the energy of it. Remember how we talked about your body as a transmitter, as a cell phone tower? I actually meant to say this on that podcast and forgot. The image I really prefer over a cell phone tower, because we are not made of steel beams, unless you're Superman. But we're not metal. So the image I really prefer is flowers. And I got this a long time ago from the movie Adaptation, which really helped me a lot overcome wanting a relationship with someone that would not have been good for me. But I really wanted it. And so watch that movie and think about it in terms of your wanting of something. But there's a scene in there where it talks about flowers and bees. We're, of course, more like flowers than cell phone towers. We are beautiful. And when we are just being our flowery selves, we radiate the chemicals, the pheromones, the invisible things that make us magnetic and attract to us what we really need to thrive and grow, to reproduce, to create. And reproduction can mean anything. Creating your projects in the world is a reproductive task. But flowers don't, as far as I know, obsess on needing a bee. some kind of pollinator. I don't think that they spend their days going, where's my pollinator? Damn it, I need a pollinator and I need it right now. In fact, I need 500 pollinators. In fact, I need 5,000 pollinators a month. Are flowers thinking that? No, they are not. I'm quite sure that they aren't saying mantras of, I am a pollinator. Okay, sorry, I'm cracking myself up. The mental images I have in my head, I wish I could share with you. A flower is ready to receive a pollinator whenever it crosses its path. It has no idea when or if ever a pollinator will come and dig around in it and get its pollen and carry it off to the other flower next door so that it can complete a life cycle, a function. As long as we are crying about, whining is my favorite. Whining, whinging, carrying on, complaining, moping, moaning, all the things that we do about not having what we want. We push it away, right? If we're a flower and it's our job to be centered and grounded and happy within ourselves right now, then we aren't radiating the energy of what we want more of. We're radiating the energy of what we're getting more of, which is what we don't have, which is less of. We're getting more of the less of situation. We're getting more of the lack and the scarcity and the not love and the not money and the not work that's fulfilling. And it's not personal. There's no punishing God out there saying, well, until you get this right, little lady, you can't have what you want. It's just a match. It's as simple as that. You radiate the feeling of satisfaction, you get more situations that create more of the feeling of satisfaction. We know this. We know it, and yet we're not holding ourselves accountable for monitoring what we're radiating on a moment-to-moment basis because it fluctuates all day long, right? It requires us to look at our stories and our choices all day long. When we're not used to that, in the beginning, it can feel a little exhausting. Like, oh my God, I have to watch everything I'm doing? Yeah, you do. Do you want something different? Well, then, yeah, you got to do something different. And doing something different creates disruption in our nervous system, right? We don't like the doing something different. I had a conversation with a client yesterday on a clarity session. Clarity sessions are available on the website. I call them hit and run coaching. You come to a clarity session when you're just stuck. You know, when you have skills and you generally know yourself and you've done a lot of work and you're doing your work, but you just hit a stuck point. That's a great time for a clarity session on the website, thatmichellewolf.com. 2 L's, 2 F's, right? Your truly unruly coach. But we were talking about needing to be aware, awake, alert, and how being alert in and of itself creates disruption in your nervous system. It requires of you to be different. And it's agitating. Because we were born like flowers, radiating joy, radiating our needs, and getting them met. Hopefully. But then we get conditioned out of that. Okay, it happens to everyone. But we are grown-ups now. So we can now consciously train ourselves back into that state of radiating our own truth. Which requires us to know our value, that our truth is valuable. that our truth contributes to the world, to the people who encounter us and our truth as we radiate it. That has value. Depending on what you're doing, you may be able to exchange that for the money you need to function in the world well and to thrive and be sustainable as you create more value, as you allow more truth to come forward, as you contribute more to the collective and then everyone around you. Everyone you encounter gets to have a little bit of that energy. That's why we love flowers, right? We are attracted to flowers. They're beautiful and they smell good and they exchange with us. They offer their beauty to the world. But they aren't thinking of it as, I'm going to offer my beauty to the world and I'm going to get me 5,000 pollinators a month. No. They just offer their beauty to the world. They can't help it. It's what they are. We are that also. We can offer our beauty to the world. It's what we are. And beauty, of course, means nothing based on marketing and advertising and, Hollywood and the magazines and the blah, blah, blah. From personal experience, if you don't know it in yourself, you've seen it in others. When someone has that glow, we've talked about that before, that glow comes from radiating life force. That glow is unobstructed authenticity. It is the unobstructed, radiant light of who that person is. It's life force. We literally glow. And that's not a woo-woo thing either. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But when someone says to you, hey, what happened? How are you doing? You're glowing. We say that to each other. But what are we doing to generate more of that? And generate's probably the wrong word. In fact, it is the wrong word because it doesn't require effort. It doesn't require generation. Generation implies that you got to do something. You don't got to do nothing except relax, get back aware of your body, do some deep breathing and some meditation and some things that make you happy. Every single day. Do you do something every single day that makes you feel amazing? Oops, sorry, I hit that thing again. I might need to move my setup because I think that does make an obnoxious noise when there's a little lever I run into when I start swinging my hands around. When's the last time you did something just for the fun of it? Not with the background thought of how to monetize it. Man, that's a trap we've all fallen into. A lot of us have fallen into. Taking the things we do for fun and having a background thought of how can I monetize this? There's nothing wrong with that, except when it detracts from your experience of what you're supposed to be doing just because you love doing it. Somehow we've gotten this idea that everything we do, we have to attach a price tag to. We don't have to. If you want to, do it. But if you want to make jewelry or pottery or draw just because it feels good, you never have to share that with anybody. You gotta feel, you've got to radiate what you want as if it's here already. And this is that tired old cliche thing that we always circle back to because it's true. We generally are only seeking something because we feel like it's going to make us feel amazing once we get it. But you can feel amazing now, right now. I have been walking through some heavy, dark nights this year and last year. I've had a rough go of things. And still, I know that I can choose to do something, anything that makes me feel just a minute of joy, just a little speck of better. And I haven't always chosen it. I've known that for years. I've been in service to others for, God, maybe my whole entire life. I don't know. But I know that we can always choose. And I know that we often don't. So we're not taking responsibility for the chemicals that we're radiating in the world. Do you see how that relates to if you're asking for it, you're not willing to receive it yet? Because you haven't taken, I'm going to say, this sounds kind of harsh because you haven't taken responsibility for generating that state of being in yourself. But I don't mean that to sound harsh because there's lots and lots of reasons why we don't. There's been plenty of times, not this year, but last year, where I consciously chose not to feel better. And for me, that was because I was taking the opposite tack. Like I'd been fighting depression my entire life, and I was like, you know what, I'm reversing engines here, and I'm just going to get as depressed as I can get. It's a little like, hopefully people don't do this anymore, but I know personally people who got caught with cigarettes at a young age and their parents made them smoke the whole pack or the whole cigar or chew the whole can of dip, whatever it was they had, which, by the way, is terrible parenting. But it was a little like that. Okay, fine. You want to be depressed? Then let's explore the land of depression. Because a lot of depression, for me anyway, I'll only speak to my own experience because depression is very individualized. But for me, it was a landscape I spent a lot of time resisting. I didn't want to feel depressed. Who does? That's another one of those things where you generally don't wake up in the morning and put that on your schedule. 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. feel depressed. We don't we don't usually do that. But I was doing it on purpose. Like, okay, let's just dive in then. We spent 50 years or whatever, 40 something years resisting it, trying to change it. Let's explore it. And for me, that did over time create a shift where I could say, okay, I'm done. I've wandered around the land of depression now for quite a while. I think I'll choose to do something to feel a little better, a little different. Anything different at that point was better. If I wake up in the morning and the first thing I think about is how am I going to make money today? How am I going to solve this problem today? Then I'm going to spend all day grinding gears and never make any progress. Our training program has to be when we wake up in the morning and we hear those same old thoughts, to recognize it, acknowledge it, and choose a different one. Oh my God, how am I going to make money today? Has become, I wonder how many ways I could receive money today. I wonder what delightful and surprising ways I could find money today. The other day I found a penny in a flower pot. How'd that get there? But that's what I've been saying. I wonder how many ways money can come to me today in surprising and delightful ways. I wonder how many ways it's going to happen today. That puts me in the state of the flower radiating the openness and the willingness to receive a pollinator dollar. Or penny, a pollinator penny. Do you feel the energetic difference of that? It's the same thing. I'm still looking, air quotes, for money. But the first way I'm looking from need and lack, and the second way I'm looking from an alert state of, I know it's coming, whether it's a penny or $100. I know it will come. It always does. And I'm open to how it's going to come. I don't care how it comes. I don't think I've got to make the money come to me. I've got to do something in exchange for the money. Nope. I'm a little flower in the field. And the money can come however it wants to come. The love can cross my path however it wants to cross my path. And because I'm way more open to that happening, that I have little encounters with people a lot when I'm out among the people that are very loving and fun and enjoyable and uplift my day. And hopefully that person leaves uplifted as well. Money can be the same. It is the same. So going back to your body as a transmitter, what are you transmitting? What you're asking for, you're not willing to receive yet. You're able. Not willing, not able? I don't know. Feel into that and see which one fits you the best. Pretty much if you're asking for it, you're not ready for it. So what do we do in the meantime? We need the money. We need the love. We need the whatever, the new car. What do we do in the meantime? What do we do while we're waiting to make sure we stay in flower mode and not frantic, grabby, desperate mode? The answer to that is have fun. What do you do in the meantime? Have fun. What do kids do while they're waiting? They entertain themselves. They have fun. They enjoy the moment. Kids are waiting for the trip to the park. They're not going to go till the afternoon. Well, they spend the time creating things, having fun. Which sounds counterintuitive, but the rent is due. Stressing over it's not going to get it to you any faster, so go have fun. And if you feel guilt about having fun, there's some work for you to do right there. You can start to explore, what are my stories about having fun? How have I been conditioned into misery? How have I been conditioned into despair? And how can I counter condition myself into hope and optimism and just entertaining myself for the moment? Let your days start to flow whenever you can. If you're at work, obviously you've got to, there's some restrictions around that, and we get it. But here, I'll give you an example. Yesterday was, other than needing to be, at my job, the rest of my day was spent in flow. On my breaks, I wrote poems at work. So I still followed the flow. Or I would have a line into this is how poetry comes to me, is I'll see something which will trigger a thought or a question, or just some random line will, cross my brain. So I always have my cell phone. So I have Google Docs app. So I just slam open a document, quick voice dictate into it so that I don't forget. Because I'm telling you, you probably already know this. If you don't grab a good idea when it's there, it's gone. Gone. Gone like my last paycheck. Gone away. Do you know that song? Probably not. John Hyatt. It's a great song. Okay, random moment aside, I still flowed within the parameters of needing to be somewhere and do some tasks. You can still create some flow in there, usually. So when I left work, I had the bones of 2 poems. I guess I probably shouldn't call them poems. They're actually prose. Very few of my works rhyme or fit the rules for poems or poetry. It's actually prose. Whatever. So then I left and I came home and I took a shower because I'm always gross. I was in the sun for 6 hours, sweaty and stinky. And then I had a client. So I ate. I only eat once a day. I do intermittent fasting. I eat in like a 2-hour window. So I ate, took a shower, got on the phone with my client, flowed through the process. It was supposed to be a 30-minute session. It became an hour, and I didn't even know. Didn't care. Took a little nap after that. Decided I wanted to change the oil in my car, which I've never changed the oil in this car, so I needed to watch a YouTube video. Yay, YouTube! The source of all instructions for magical experiences. So then I started getting this stuff together, and I thought, well, I should probably wait till the daylight to change the oil, but I didn't want to. I'm having such deja vu. We talked about this related to something else before. Anyway, it was getting dark, so I got a flashlight, gathered all the stuff, got down there to change the oil with the flashlight and a wrench and in my pink nightgown because I didn't want to take the time to go change. Who cares? I'm out here by myself. If I want to change the oil in my nightgown, I can do that. But it doesn't even occur to me. Like that's a place where I'm not conditioned anymore. I don't think I have to look or wear a certain thing to do a certain thing. So I changed the oil in the car. In my pink nightgown. Laying on an old box from the post office. It felt good. And then I came back in and watched Lost in Space, the remake, which is quite good, by the way. And then I wrote some more, and then I Facebooked, and then I just followed the impulse. It's such a great thing to train yourself to follow the flow of your own impulses and not question them. And when you hear the stories of, well, you ought to change clothes first before you change the oil in your car, don't you think? Just train yourself out of that. Who cares? Doesn't matter. I didn't have any shoes on either. If somebody had come by, they would have been like, wow, there's a hick tableau if I ever saw one. Some old woman out there in a nightgown and no shoes crawled up under a car changing her oil. Okay, so when you decondition yourself and you get rid of your stories, other people might think you're odd. Let that be okay. Let yourself radiate the joy. All day yesterday, even doing things I didn't want to do, I still could stay in my joy. I still could stay in my alertness. What am I thinking about? What am I feeling? Where's my impulse, my gut want to go? What order do I want to do things in? What feels good right now? And how can I do more of that? Then you are the flower radiating the joy, which brings to you all the things you need and then some. I've had more and more requests lately for readings for human design. Oh my gosh. We'll have to do a whole podcast on human design because I am so passionate about it. And those readings are up on the website too, but those are increasing. I've had numerous requests for types of things I don't even have on the website. I've got an idea for a coaching program to train 2 or 3 women, and it would only be 2 or 3 women because it would be an intense 6 months of training and 3 months of follow-up to train them to coach the way I coach. I don't have that advertised yet. I'm hearing about other job opportunities for things I have skills at doing, but I'm not advertising that I do them. I took on and also just as a reminder, as things start coming your way, use discernment. Just because they're coming your way doesn't mean that they're the right fit. It just means that your flow is opening. You are open to receiving. And as you start seeing the things, you still need to use your own discernment. So, and a quick example of that, because I know we're like coming up to our 30 minutes, but I took on a VA client last week and decided to fire that person this week. But then that person, I think, exited anyway because it was not a good fit. I don't want to work with people who mess around, because once I'm in a project, I want to go. Let's go and get it done. Otherwise, why are you hiring me? If you don't want to go and get things done, you need to wait and then go hire someone else. But that meant I said no to potential money. But when you feel good and you're happy and you know you're not going to die if you don't get the money today, you can say no to the money that's not appropriate. You can say no to the offers that aren't a good fit for you. And when you start doing that, then you know you're centered, you're in trust, you're centered, you're grounded, you're ready to receive what you've been asking for because you've stopped asking for it. And you're radiating it. You've become magnetic to the things that sustain you. And then you get to use your discernment and your smarts to pick and choose the ones that feel the best. Life is that buffet. And it will deliver you everything available. And then you need to trust and enjoy enough to pick and choose. I'm going to say that like 7 times. Pick and choose, pick and choose. Use your discernment, damn it. Just because it's there doesn't mean it's right. It just means you're open to the flow. Too many people do that. Like, oh, well, I asked for it and it came. You asked for it and something came that was a better fit, but not the best fit. Wait for the best. Okay, anyway. What you're asking for, you're not willing to receive or able to receive. Use that imagery and the thought of, am I being a flower right now? Am I doing everything that I can to feel as beautiful and empowered in power, not empowered, because you always have the power, but you're in it or not. We could talk about that someday too. But to be in my power, to be in my knowing, to follow my body's wealth of information about what's right and not right for me, to say yes to some things, to say no to some things, to say yes to some things and then have to backtrack and say no. Not my favorite thing to do, but it happens. If a pollinator flew by, would it smell me? Am I radiating the chemicals of what I want more of into the world? I like that better than the cell phone tower. Play with that one, see what you think. Maybe you like the cell phone tower. I don't know. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's back a couple of episodes, and the title of that one was "Your Body is a Transmitter." And then look at what you're asking for and see how many ways you could move into already receiving it, already having it right now. Telling yourself, I've already got it. I don't need to keep asking where this is going to come from. I already have it because I'm creating it through this chemical process. I already have it because I'm able to conceptualize it, because I'm able to create the feeling of it in my body, because my body doesn't know the difference of what I'm thinking about, whether it's real in reality or not. And that's how I'm creating it. I'm sending the message to the universe, I want this, through my ability to feel this, to feel it, to radiate it, to be it, to transmit it. Play with that and let me know what you think. You can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/thatmichellewolf. On the website, thatmichellewolf.com, where everything is listed that I do. Also, my book is available for pre-order. The next poetry book, Confetti. Unruly bits of poetry, Prose and Essays. I've changed the title, but I haven't updated the title in Amazon yet. But you can pre-order that now for $4.99 as a Kindle. There will be a paperback available too. And I'm setting it up to where if you buy the paperback, the Kindle is free. But you can buy the Kindle and then I think it cancels it out. I don't know. Do what feels best to you. I'll probably come up with some bonuses to go with those pre-orders. And if you've already ordered, don't worry about it. You can just let me know. And I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, let me stop here. Go to the website if you're interested in working with me. Think less, feel more. Just try it. Think less, feel more. Be the flower. Does that sound ridiculous? That sounds kind of pretty. Just be the flower. Okay, one more thing. I can't stop talking today. I may have had too much coffee. One time I was standing at Whole Foods ordering some wheatgrass, and this stoned ass girl, she came out. She was wearing overalls and like a tube top underneath. This was back in Fort Collins, of course. This girl comes up to me and she puts her hand on my arm and she goes, "I love wheatgrass. It tastes like the earth." And I was like, yeah, it does taste like the earth because it grows in the earth and it tastes like dirt. So I'm just drinking the wheatgrass because I think I have to. It was funny. God bless her. I hope she's doing well. Okay. Think less, feel more. Talk to you next week. Bye.